In this episode, I hope to complete most of the lower city. I was really looking forward to building lower city, and now that I'm finally doing it, I'm using my favorite music disc in this video, which of course is Ward. The ancient Mesopotamians built their roads out of mud brick or stone. However, I find the way they set up their roads very interesting. Until the Neo-Assyrian or Neo-Babylonian periods, Mesopotamian city-states generally had little to no urban planning. However, if you look closely, you will notice something about the roads that I'm building. The ancient Mesopotamians built the roads that ran north to south wider, as they were shaded from the hot Mesopotamian sun all day, but the buildings on either side of the road were exposed to the sun for half the day, making it hot inside. In comparison, the roads that ran west to east were built thinner, as they were exposed to the sun all day, but the entrances of the houses were less exposed to the sun, meaning it was cooler inside. Roads that ran north to south needed to be wider as more people used them because they were shaded, and people used the road as social spaces to escape their hot dwellings. Roads that ran diagonally acted as a compromise between the two options. Now I'm building the houses of the lower city. The houses of the average Mesopotamian were made out of plaster with reeds or sun-dried brick, as opposed to the higher quality but more expensive oven-baked mud brick. The house would have a thatch or mud brick roof and was whitewashed in order to reflect the sunlight and keep the house cooler. In addition, the house would have no windows as wood for building them was scarce. I am ignoring these facts from my build to make the city look more colorful and vibrant. What I'm not ignoring are some of the smaller details. For example, the ancient Mesopotamians were known to have small gardens, and most of the city residents were farmers who brought their animals inside the city walls for safety. Not every house I built has a garden or an animal enclosure, as I felt that would be too much, but in a real city-state there would be a lot more animals. The blue building I'm making next is a temple. Although those in the upper city had access to the extravagant ziggurats for use as temples, the average Mesopotamian was excluded from their use. Instead, they had more basic temples. I'd tell you what temple I'm basing this build off of, but unfortunately the source I used was removed. Mesopotamian temples were often located on terraces, or simply put, they were built on elevated platforms, which made them closer to the gods in the sky. Other buildings I mixed into the normal houses were breweries, since beer was clean to drink and was the main beverage of the Mesopotamians, and a granary, the building with the white stripes in the bottom left. I placed it next to the temple, as priests and the other elites collected tithes from the farmers to redistribute in times of famine. I'm also building a barracks for the soldiers to man the walls. Its look was inspired by the Mesopotamian towers that flanked important gateways. In reality, a barracks would likely resemble a normal rectangle-shaped house with a large inner courtyard. For my final task, I'm adding boats and more details to the port. I found an online source with pictures of the types of riverboats and seafaring boats the Mesopotamians used, and I did my best to recreate them in Minecraft. I will be adding these boats to the port, canal, and outside rivers. Each one will have their own cargo. Every city-state had a so-called shade network, or a large number of tarps to protect people from the sun. I used simple but colorful striped tarps in this role. I couldn't find any visuals for Mesopotamian tarps, and even if I did, I probably couldn't do them justice with my designs.